There's a barbershop on a busy corner in your city. 3 chairs, always full, a line out the door every Saturday. You walk past it and think, that owner must be sitting on a fortune. Constant customers, cash tips stacking up, no expensive equipment, no huge inventory. It looks like the cleanest business model on earth. Here's what you don't see. 2 of those 3 chairs might not even belong to him. The barber standing at them could be paying him rent for the privilege of using his space. And depending on how the math works out, he might be making less from a full shop than you'd guess from a half-empty one.
Before we talk numbers, you need to understand something most people never think about. A barbershop isn't one business. It's 2 running under the same roof, and which one you're running completely changes your math. Model 1 is the commission shop. The owner hires barbers as staff or near staff, and every haircut splits between them. A common structure gives the barber somewhere around 60% of what they bring in, with the shop keeping the rest. The upside? The owner has real control over quality, hours, and branding. The downside? The owner is also on the hook for a lot of the overhead regardless of how busy any one barber is that week. Model 2 is the chair rental model. Here, barbers aren't employees at all. They're tenants. Each one pays the shop owner a flat weekly or monthly fee for the right to use a chair, and then keeps 100% of whatever they earn from their own clients. The owner's income becomes predictable rent, not a percentage of unpredictable haircuts. Same shop, same door, 2 completely different businesses, depending on which structure sits underneath it. And most people scrolling past a busy barbershop have no idea which one they're even looking at.
Compared to a restaurant or a daycare, a barbershop looks cheap to start. It is cheaper, but it is not free, and the details matter. You need a commercial space, and barbershops do best in high foot traffic locations, which means you're paying for visibility, not just square footage. Real listings for small operational shops show monthly rent running anywhere from under $2,000 for a modest space to $4,000 or $5,000 for a prime storefront location. Then there's the build-out: professional barber chairs, mirrors, wash stations, proper lighting, and a shop that actually looks like somewhere people want to sit for 30 minutes. A single high-quality barber chair alone can run into 4 figures, and a real shop needs several. Add licensing. Most places require both a business license and individual barbering licenses for anyone cutting hair, plus health and safety inspections since you're dealing with blades, chemicals, and skin contact. None of that is optional, and all of it costs money before your first customer sits down. Now the recurring bill, month after month, whether the chairs are full or empty. Rent, obviously, first and always, the highest fixed cost in most shops and completely unrelated to how many haircuts happen that week. Product and supplies are constant. Clipper blades that dull and need replacing, disinfectant and sanitation supplies you're legally required to use between every single client, shaving products, towels, and retail stock if you sell products up front. None of it is dramatic individually. All of it, every week, adds up. Utilities run higher than people expect. Water for washing stations, electricity for lighting and clippers running most of the day. And depending on your climate, real heating or cooling costs to keep a shop comfortable enough that people want to linger. Insurance matters more here than most service businesses realize because you're working with blades near people's skin all day, every day. Liability coverage isn't optional. It's the thing standing between one bad accident and a lawsuit that ends the business. And here's the cost real barbershop financials keep surfacing that most outsiders never consider: chair idle time. A barber who's only booked for 5 hours of an 8-hour day is still occupying rent-paying square footage for all 8. Empty chair time isn't a minor inconvenience. In a business built entirely around square footage and hours, it's lost revenue that never comes back.
Let's get specific, because this is where the must be sitting on a fortune assumption falls apart. Real business for sale listings for established, profitable independent barbershops show something consistent. A shop pulling in roughly $300,000 a year in revenue often nets its owner somewhere in the $40,000 to $50,000 range after expenses. A real margin, but closer to 12 or 15%, not the windfall the busy sidewalk view suggests. That's a working, sustainable small business. It is not a fortune. It's closer to a solid salary that happens to come with the stress of running a business instead of the safety net of an employer. Now compare that to a higher-end shop, leather chairs, premium branding, a location that draws an upscale clientele, pulling closer to $500,000 in revenue, with owner cash flow closer to $150,000 a year. Same core business, nearly triple the profit margin. The difference isn't luck, it's positioning, pricing, and chair utilization, deliberately engineered instead of left to chance.
So what actually separates the shop clearing $50,000 a year from the one clearing $150,000?
Chair utilization. A shop with 3 chairs booked solid outperforms a shop with 5 chairs half empty every time. More chairs isn't the goal, full chairs is the goal. Retail and add-on revenue. Shops that sell product, pomades, oils, grooming kits, and upsell services like beard trims and hot towel shaves are stacking margin on top of the haircut instead of relying on the haircut alone to carry the whole business. The rent versus commission decision, made deliberately. Shops that mix both models, a couple of chairs on commission for consistency, a couple rented out for predictable income, spread their risk instead of betting the entire month on one structure. And positioning. A shop that competes on price is fighting the hardest, thinnest margin version of this business. A shop that competes on experience, the cherry wood interior, the leather chairs, the atmosphere people are willing to pay a premium for, is playing a completely different, more profitable game with the exact same square footage.
So, is owning a barbershop a good business? At the small, single-location, price-competitive level, it's a real, honest, small business. Solid income, real independence, but far from the fortune the busy sidewalk view suggests. Chair idle time, thin margins, and constant licensing and product overhead keep the ceiling lower than most people assume. At the positioned, well-utilized premium level, it becomes something genuinely lucrative. The same core business run with intention instead of instinct, producing a margin nearly triple the industry norm. The lesson underneath this one is the same lesson underneath every video on this channel. A full shop and a profitable shop are not automatically the same thing. Before you assume any visibly busy business is secretly rich, ask what's actually happening behind the numbers you can't see, who's really keeping the money, and how much of that full house is actually working in the owner's favor. If breakdowns like this are useful to you, subscribe. Every week, I take apart a business people assume is simple and show you what the real numbers say. Next week, we're taking apart another one, and this one's going to surprise you even more than this shop did. I'll see you in the next one.